Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Dave here. Thanks for coming by Surviving New England. I want to talk some reality stuff with you guys. When I first got into prepping, I guess we're calling it that, or just being prepared, really is what I call it, just being ready. It started with Les Stroud, Survivor Man. That's what really got me out into the woods, kind of. This was some years ago. This was probably 5 years ago now. And I started to do a lot of hiking, and I loved watching Les Stroud put himself in a situation with just him by himself and a few items and see how he uh, survives. I mean, it's really kind of cut and dry. I mean, he would make a shelter, he would try to procure water with just a few tools, whatever he had on him or whatever he had around him, and just taking advantage of what's around you. And that got me into bushcraft. Now, the bushcraft was just going out into the woods and learning how to light a fire, different various methods. There's all kinds of different ways to light a fire. And I got really into that and shelter making and knots, stuff like that. And that snowballed into preparedness. And then I turned my attention to survival skills. I hate that survival skills, just skills to make you stay comfortable out in the woods. If you're out camping, having these skills are great. It's great to know how to light an efficient fire. You're not killing yourself. Preparation is everything and all of that stuff, right? Now, I started this channel recently just to share information with you guys, share some stories, some things that have happened to me, and things that I've learned along the way, and my thoughts and theories on things here and there. I'm noticing on YouTube a lot is coming out saying that we're closer and closer to a grid down scenario and the collapse of the monetary system and our banking system. And it's just all nightmarish scenarios, really. And the reality of all of this stuff, even some of the prepared people aren't even prepared enough. I collect freeze-dried foods. That's my number one thing, really, guys, because water here in New England is plentiful. You can find it anywhere. If you know how to process it to make it clean, water is not that much of an issue here in New England. But food, on the other hand, food is a huge, huge thing. It's that rule of threes, right? 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, all of these things. I think with the food, you could probably go even longer than 3 weeks without food, but it would absolutely just suck real bad, just starving to death, wild edibles and stuff like that. And I've learned now that you can't just go out into the forest and live off the land. It's not happening, you guys. Especially if you're following the laws, hunting laws, and certain seasons of the year that you can hunt and you can't hunt. But you're not living off acorns and pine needle tea and all these kind of things. Wild cabbage and wild lettuce and dandelions and just all this kind of stuff that you're not going to live. You can't really survive. You need fatty stuff. You need fish, deer meat, bear meat, squirrels, raccoons. So, all of that being said, picture now you're in a situation where something happens, the supermarkets are closed, there's no more food, the power is out, and you've got this skill, this knowledge, and hopefully you can use it to your advantage. But again, you are going to be right alongside a lot of other people that really think that they can just grab their bob bag, right, their bug out bag, or grab their get home bag, and hightail it out into the forest, and they're just going to start plinking squirrels and raccoons and stuff like that, and they're going to live off of acorns and whatever's out in the woods. You're not going to just eat grass. I mean, you need fat sustenance. And I recently was watching these guys, the Wooded Beardsmen. They have this survival, this modern hunter-gatherer series, where it's very difficult to maintain your weight, right? Say you go out into the woods for a week, you're not coming back weighing the same. So, and they show these different wild animals that they kill. They're eating everything. They're eating the brains, the eyeballs, the stomach. You need to eat fatty stuff. You can't just live off of deer meat, by itself. You can't just live off of rice by itself. You need to do all these kinds of things. So the reality of this survival thing, that you need to have 6 months of food and water to survive, all of that stuff is great. And also, Canadian Prepper, he talks about knowledge. You need knowledge you can have that doesn't weigh anything. So you can have freeze-dried foods and all the water and all this stuff. You need to have skills to further that. So after your 6 months of food, then what? After your 6 months of water, and then what? Things happen. Tools break. A hammer can break. A saw that you're using can break. Knives break. You need to kind of try to learn some skills, if you don't already have some, that will help you to sustain that living. To sustain, you can't just eat freeze-dried foods, and then you need to know how to grow plant vegetables and stuff like that I don't know how to do it. I'm not a gardener. I'm starting to get into that type of thing, but it's very important that you can't just take one big bite out of survival skills and think that you can go out into the woods and survive. You need to nibble at this subject. And with these videos coming out, and I feel we are close to something happening. I don't know what. I can't say what that is. An EMP, a nuclear explosion in our atmosphere that knocks out everything, or the power grid goes down, or if the system collapses, our monetary system collapses. That's a bad, bad, bad thing. And I made a video before. If the electricity goes out, guys, we're in serious, serious, serious trouble. 90% of the population of the United States will perish if the electricity goes out. Even something as simple as right now, the government shutdown, right? If people stop getting their EBT cards and getting their welfare and public assistance and stuff like that, and I'm not saying anything against it, some people need it, but there are those that take advantage of it. So with this government shutdown, if people start losing their benefits, while we're all out here doing our thing, you've got a large portion of people that can't feed themselves. They may live 2 houses from you. They may live very close to you. And I believe if something isn't done soon, you're going to start to see reactions. You're going to start to see home invasions. People are going to start stealing from stores. They're going to start breaking into supermarkets in the middle of the night to feed their families. And I have to say, I don't blame them. But if you lack the skills to help yourself, then you're going to be in trouble. So, part of my channel, I want to make it to help me help you, because that helps me. It's also people around you, your family members. If they're not on board, Canadian Prepper just did a video about this. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't remember the channel. I had just watched it, and just a light bulb went off in my head. If your family members aren't prepared for this, and you're the only one that is, and something really bad happens, all that 6 months worth of food for you and your wife and your child, what about your cousins and uncles and aunts and best friends that are not prepared in any way? Are you just going to say, nope, you can't have none of my stuff? Good luck to you. Shut the door and lock it? No. So it helps you to help others. Try to open people's eyes. I try to do it, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's near impossible. People that don't want to see it are not going to see it. They don't want to know. It's insane. I have a best friend who doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to know. He's got 2 newborns, or whatever. They're 2, 3 years old. He doesn't even want to hear it. And I explained to him, listen, you have car insurance. You have insurance for this and that, medical insurance, just in case you get sick, just in case you get a flat, just in case you get into a car accident. And, his thing is, well, it's law. You have to. I can't say enough about starting to share your knowledge and wisdom with others, that try to talk people into being prepared, because when you're the only one in your family that is prepared, they're all going to knock on your door. So when or if this is going to happen, I have no clue, but I certainly have a bad feeling, like I never have before, that something is close. Something could be happening soon. I don't know what it is, and I could be wrong, and I pray to God that I am. I want to show you guys something. I've done this before about freeze-dried foods. This is just an example, okay? This is Backpacker's Pantry, a freeze-dried food. I've had this for a couple of years. This particular pack is good until 2024. I prefer Mountain House. They're good. Right now, you buy a new pack of chicken and rice, and it's good until 2048, guys. That's something you can store in your closet, in a box, in a bin somewhere, and just start saving this stuff up. Share it with others, guys. Share your knowledge and try to make it fun if you can for your family. Make it a fun thing. Anyways, thank you so much for coming by Surviving New England, and I'll definitely see you guys on the next one.